Bonjour and welcome to my review and build of the SD Sinanju Gunpla kit. It's another SD Gunpla review and I got mine for £7 from Gunpla UK. It's from the Gundam Unicorn anime and the pilot is Full Frontal, who's definitely not Char Aznable, as you can see. So let's take a look at what comes in the box. There's only 2 bags of sprues in this, big sheet of stickers and the ever reliable instruction manual. It's got some nice illustrations on the inside, and most of the build is in black and white, although there are some coloured bits. So just unwrapping it, there's a sprue with some polycap parts, a grey sprue that's got the weapon and backpack, and then there's 2 red sprues. There's no other colour parts, so the stickers are going to need to do some heavy lifting, although I might have a trick up my sleeve to hopefully help with the colour separation. So I've cut off all the parts from the sprue, just give them a quick panel line and a bit of a clean up. And here are all the parts once upon the stickers, and I've added some details using my Gundam markers. So I've used a yellow and a light grey marker just to pick up the areas such as the vents and the cabling. So now I'm going to build the head. There's a foil green sticker for the eye. It's got a bit of a Cyclops vibe, the Sinanju. You can also see where I've used the yellow and that light grey Gundam marker to paint up the vents and the cabling. I think it looks pretty cool. They're basically acrylic paints in pen form, and they match the colours that Gundam come in. But yep, they'll look great and add that colour separation. I'm going to build up the torso now, and it's only really 2 parts, but it's got 4 of these little polycap parts. So polycaps are made from a more rubbery plastic, and they're often used in older or cheaper kits for the joints. They can degrade over time, so that means the joints can get loose, but on a £7 kit, like, who's complaining? As you can see, they're going to be for the arms to fit into. You can also see some of that custom work on the piping, and there's a couple metallic gold and black stickers which look pretty good for stickers. I did forget to add these 2 polycaps, so quick fast forward whilst I chuck them on. So I'm going to start building up the arms now. These feel quite stumpy, especially after I made that cross silhouette Caliban. I quite like SD kits, especially the price, but I will try and probably focus on cross silhouette kits going forwards because I just prefer the size and dimensions. Here you can see some more of those metallic gold and black stickers. I'm feeling pretty proud of how I've actually managed to line them up. They're a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. And there's a couple more polys for just the joints into that shoulder piece. You can see there's a bit of a thruster there. Again, some more of that yellow pipe custom work on the vents. Just chucked together the arm now. It looks pretty good. It doesn't have a lot of posability. It's only really got that pivot at the elbow, and it can kind of rotate a little bit inside the shoulder pad, but it's blocked by that thruster. And I'll quickly fast forward whilst I just basically do the same for the other side, but mirrored in a couple parts. Time to tackle the legs. And to be honest, it's just 2 parts and 2 polycaps for each leg. You can't really get an easier build than that, although I'll try and prove that wrong in a second by just ignoring the instructions and trying to put the pieces in without even looking. I finally get this polycap onto the ankle, and now watch just monkey level brain hobbying, trying to just push it in, and then I look and go, oh, just slots into there. Daft. But fast forward whilst I build the second one up, know how to do it this time. Making a start on the waist now, and there's only 2 parts here. There's no articulation, they just clip together. But I'm going to really point out all that custom work now, where I've used that yellow and that grey, because these kits are just red. There are none of those colour separated parts, and I think it really adds to it. So I've got all the finished parts for the main kit done now, and it's time to assemble it all. The polycaps for the arms are on a bit of a pivot, so it's a bit awkward getting the arms in, but a bit of finagling, get it done. Although I'm not too happy with how that peg looks for the arm sticking into the chest. I quite like how the weathering's come out with the panel lining. I just applied it liberally and cleaned it off, but it's worked quite well, and I was careful not to let it pull. and just finishing off assembling it. All pops together real nice and easy. Chance for a bit of a pose, get it how you kind of want to see the model, and a bit of a 360 whilst I check out how it looks and admire that custom work. Again, not much effort put in, took about 10-15 minutes extra, but I think it's really been worth the effort. Just the last couple bits to assemble, and it's the backpack, which have got these thrusters on there. I've used the light grey on the boosters. I know it should be white, but I just used the light grey. I still think it looks good. And it definitely looks better than just stock red plastic on the basic kit, to be honest. So just put the thrusters onto the backpack. They do have a little bit of articulation, which is nice, but when they're on the model, you're not going to be able to get much done with it. It's just final assembly, popping it all together. You see me knock one of those thrusters off and pop it back in, and just getting the weapon kind of posed up and adding on the shield, which, to be honest, is a bit awkward. It's quite hard to pose. It's a bit limited in its articulation, but I've got a pose that I think I quite like, and I'll probably use when I display the piece. But yeah, it's looking great. Moving on to the 360 review, and I think it looks pretty good. It did take a bit of extra work with those Gundam markers, and you've got to be real careful with the stickers to line them up properly, but I think it was totally worth the extra effort. And here's a side-by-side comparison with its master grade version. As you can see, there's a tiny bit of a size difference, but I think it looks great next to its bigger brother, and I'll be displaying them together. So my final thoughts, this did take a tiny bit of extra work to get where I wanted, but I think it was worth that little bit of extra effort. It does have limited articulation, but for £7 you can't really go wrong, and it's a solid kit, a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Toodles.